Just from looking at the colorway, can we guess what book from the Book of Grimm she drew inspiration from? Honestly, I'm not even gonna guess. I was not close at all for January, which was Rumpelstiltskin. So once I take this off, it's gonna be on the inside here. But this baby hank of red yarn, she could do a red colorway every single month and I would not be tired of it. I love her colors. It's just so vibrant. Obviously, I am biased because I love black and red. So any sort of red yarn in and of itself, I'm totally here for that. But this one, the main hank, I love the purple and the little specks of dark, deep green. So whatever it is, I'm excited about it, but I figured I should brew up a little tea here from her specialty tea that she had for February, because I only have probably 2 cups left. And this is the Roses Are Dead, which has green tea, apple pieces, rose petal, and lychee flavor. It's so freaking good. I need my tea strainer. I've been going through tea like crazy lately, and I have 2 strainers in order to steep my tea. I have a plethora of mugs, but only 2 strainers. So I think it's actually in the dishwasher. I'm very particular too. I like these ones that have this wide opening. Not only because it's a lot easier to get this loose leaf tea into, but then I can see it bloom. And I mean, I feel like that's part of the whole process. This one is 2 to 3 minutes. Ones that I've been using lately have been 10 to 15 minutes, which is kind of crazy. I'm gonna be really sad when this one is done. Caffeine is moderate, so I can still have this before bed. That's what I've been doing anyway. Really like how it's packaged this year too. So it just came in a bag and that's it. The only thing holding it together is this tiny little Grimm booklet, which is what started my what am I gonna do for this entire yarn subscription, because I want to showcase something. Having this, it's the Grimm booklet, and then on the inside there's a little story, and I didn't want to just throw it away after playing around with January's and ripping out different ideas. I think I did that maybe 6 or 7 different times. I don't know, it was a lot, but I think I finally got it down, and so this month I can just get right into it. Okay, here we are, last chance to guess. This month's theme is the spindle, the shuttle, and the needle. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lost both of her parents. Her aging grandmother lived on the edge of the village in a warm and cozy cottage. Who doesn't want to live in a warm and cozy cottage? Just surrounded with yarn? Yeah, that sounds amazing. Her grandma was a crafty lady who was gifted in fiber arts. She taught her granddaughter to use the tool of the trade. Fast forward several years, the young girl is now a teenager, and her grandmother passes away. Grandma left her their home and the advice to use their craft to support herself, and that she does. At the same time, a prince is searching villages high and low for a bride. Long story short, he peeps through a window and sees her working away on her spinning wheel in the sunshine. Her tools leap from her hands and weave a wooing he can't resist. They live happily ever after. This is a tale that I haven't read lately, which I really like that she's doing. Not that Rumpelstiltskin isn't one that I didn't know start to finish, but I also hadn't read it in a long time. Though the other day I was thrifting and I found a VHS tape of Rumpelstiltskin, like a cartoon Rumpelstiltskin. I feel like that one's gonna be horror inducing just in and of itself. Like, it wasn't designed to be. Obviously it was for kids, but it's gonna be a little spooky, I'm thinking. I'll let you know how it goes. Probably just go all out and watch it in the middle of the night. We'll wait till the witching hour, throw it on, and see if it's extra spooky. Okay, so we have this one, which I'm already obsessed with. I've already, I don't really feel like I need to talk anything more about it. I would love to hang it up on my wall of Muse 2320 here. The yarn subscription that I got into was a fingering weight yarn. At the time of coming into this subscription, I thought maybe I would want to do a pair of socks every single month. But then January came and went, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing socks. I tried that last year. I didn't get it all the way through, and I was kind of sad that I didn't finish it all. So I want to have something that I can start and finish within a month and then move on to the next one. So I have decided to do a crochet picture frame. This is something that I've been wanting to add decor-wise into my house for a really long time, even though it's just one solid color. It's so beautiful. It just brings me so much happiness. So much joy from this color. Crochet picture frames, I just think they're super unique, and it's not going to take a ton of yarn. So I am going to still have some of this colorway left from January's. I had quite a bit. I'm going to save that until the end of the year, and then maybe I'll do something else with that. Maybe do like little granny squares or something, seam those all together, and then I'll have a mini little throw blanket. I don't know. That is just all the way down to the end of the year. Finish this first pattern, which, like I said, I went through so many different variations. I knew that I wanted to do a picot stitch around the edging just because it's so simple, but it packs a punch. So once I get into it, it's very, very repetitive, and I love those type of stitches. I feel like this one is going to go a lot quicker now that I have the pattern written out and ready to go. One last little close-up before I cake this one up. How perfect does that look on my Swift? It was born to be on this Swift. I know I just said I don't want to do socks, but maybe with this one I do. I feel like I would totally have enough to do a pair of socks on my knitting machine and also the picture frame. Lost the clamp to my electric yarn winder when I was renovating the yarn dungeon. I'm sure I'll find it here someday in some box that I put it in that I was like, oh, I will remember where this is. This is a great spot for it. No, I totally forgot where it's at. And I can't go as fast as I used to because this thing just like moves around like crazy. I could also probably just go to some place and find a little metal clamp for it, but I'm kind of holding out that I'm going to find it here pretty soon. It kind of looks like the secondary colors are bleeding into the main color, which just gives it that extra bit of spookiness because, you know, it's the Book of Grimm. We have to have a little spooky action here in the yarn. Very, very interested to see how this is going to work up into an actual project. Oh, it's crazy soft too. I think I'm just going to follow how I did January's, which the purple is the main hank and the gold is the one that I used for the picot border. So that's how those two are going to play out. And we need to give this one a little bit more attention. I just think this is so cool how it turned out. Whatever I have extra, this is definitely going to get used. Then this is how I'm going to display these little story booklets. I'm just going to attach it to the frame. And I really wanted to make sure I had a frame that I was able to pull it off the wall and read the back. So now I'm thinking I might actually sew into this little Grimm booklet. That way when I flip it over, it's going to have a little yarn border on this side too. Obviously this one's for February, so it's going to go to this one, and I need to flatten this out a little bit. For that, I'll just end up using my rotary cutter and going all throughout this. It just makes little perforated holes throughout the paper. That way I can crochet right into it really, really easily. And they're nice and evenly spaced for me. Here is the completed picture frame for February. I was a little bit nervous as I was working this up that there wasn't going to be enough of the red to really make it pop, but I think because of the fact it's the border and it's that little picot here, it just pulls everything together. And even though it's the exact same pattern as I used for January, they totally look different, or different enough that when I have these up together on the wall, they're going to be their own statement pieces, their own moment, but collectively, it's going to look incredible. This main hank, I obviously have a ton of it left, barely even got into that one. But even still, I feel like we can see pretty well all throughout the color and everything that is showcased just from the outside of this one. I was thinking about where I want to hang these up in the yarn dungeon because I really don't want to wait all the way until the end of December or really January, since we are a month behind. So it'll be January of 2026 that I'll have everything officially finished. But like, I don't want to wait that long. I want to put them up as I go. So I think I'm going to put them up on the corkboard back here since it is Muse 2320 yarn. And that way I can kind of adjust the colors and placement as I'm going. It's not something that's going to be permanent. I can just play around with it all throughout the year and enjoy it throughout the year as well. Once this one is done drying, being on the blocking board, we're going to start to see all of the beautiful picture frames up here, and I cannot wait until I see what March is. So that's everything for February's yarn subscription. I did get a notification that March is out. It's on its way here to the yarn dungeon. I mean, I did get a little bit late start of February's. It's totally fine though, because I'm ready to go. I know this pattern is what I love. It turned out amazing 2 months in a row, which speaks volumes for the pattern. I'm just going to set this all aside with my January's extra and kind of think about what I'm going to do with this stuff as I wait for March's yarn subscription. Thanks for hanging out with me today, checking out Muse 2320, a Grimm year in yarn. Let me know which one of these is your favorite so far, and also what is your favorite Grimm story ever that you would love to see in a yarn colorway. Have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you in my next video.